What's that? What is that? Oh my god, they're coming! The Scousers are coming! The Scousers are coming! Hi guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to Season 5, Episode 7 of The Impossible Dream with Bala Town, and today we host Liverpool in a competitive fixture in the Champions League group stages. May God have mercy on our lifeless souls at the end of it, because it could be anything, but we'll give it our best shot. We're also going to play Aberystwyth Town as a warm-up to that in the league. Now, we do have a few things to catch you up on. Let's start with the games, though, starting with a Port Talbot game in the Welsh Premier League. We got the perfect start when Adam Maurice took advantage of a poor back pass. And Bruce Anderson made it 2 goals in 4 minutes from the spot. Defender Joe Lewis added a third early in the second half with a great finish. And Anderson got his second of the match to round off the scoring. So there we go, a good performance, a fantastic start. 2 goals in the first 4 minutes, quieting down a little bit after that. But you can see there, absolutely smashed them. Never in danger of dropping any points here. Yeah, just a really, really good performance. The next game to catch you up on, the final game to catch you up on, was a Welsh League Cup third round tie against Airbus UK. We took the lead when Connor Gosney finished off all Mark's knockdown. And we doubled our lead just before half time when Newton crossed for Dan Biggs. Gossé missed a penalty, but Adam Maurice secured the tie, finishing off a mazy dribble. So we were too good for them. We move into the quarterfinals where we are playing, who are we playing? Afan Lido away in the quarterfinals. But Gosney, Biggs and Maurice with the goals. Gossé missed a penalty as well, but look at that. 33 shots to 0. They were not in the same class as us. They're a division down and they're struggling in that division, I think, as well. So you would expect us to win, and we did just that, which is excellent stuff. A quick update of the league table, and you can see that we're not top, but we're only a point off with 2 games in hand. So if we were to win this upcoming game against Aberystwyth Town, who are struggling, we would then go back top of the division. You can see the New Saints really, really struggling. They're a point behind us, and they've played 2 games more. So that's looking good. And there's the Champions League group stage table there. We have got an Iron Brew Cup fourth round opponent, the Queen of the South. I don't know if I mentioned that before or not. We did, of course, beat Shamrock Rovers. I think it was 2 episodes ago now, wasn't it? So we've got Queen of the South coming up in the 4th round of that. The only other thing to catch you up on, if we go to transfers here, we did end up loaning out Lawrence Thomas. He's gone off to Cavan Druids for the rest of the season. He'll be a first-team player there. Hopefully, we'll see him develop a little bit, and we'll make a decision at that point if we want to keep him or not. He was kind of someone we signed because he had high potential, but I'm not quite sure he's at our level, to be honest. So we'll make a decision on him later on in this season. But that is pretty much everything. Let's get to the Aberystwyth game, and you can see we are heavy favourites for this one, as you would expect. We've got a relatively good record. The only loss there was, of course, the Champions League loss to Lyon last time out. They are newly promoted, I believe. I don't think they were in the division last year. Matt Bishop is the manager. He's not, again, we've seen worse managers in this league. They're a very cautious, standoffish, park the bus style team. You can see they're very defensive, very deep. There's their lineup. We are expecting them, as I said, to park the bus. Positional heat map is there as well. You can see just narrow lines, and their key passes as well. They tend to be a little bit more direct, though. Not too much lumping forward. They did win last time up. 2 late goals against that team, whose name I can't say. Let's have a look at the team that we're sending out. Obviously, we have eyes on the Liverpool game. This is the team we're sending out. Jay Cocky in goal. Newton, who comes in. Of course, Granger, injured last episode. He's out for 3 weeks. And Joe Lewis as well. That may be a new one, I think. Don't know if he was injured last episode or not. But anyway, he's out for 2 weeks. But we have cover at centre-back, so it's not too bad. So Newton at left-back. Evans, Denham comes in with Nichols as a back 4. Williams, who's, of course, suspended for the Champions League game, having got sent off against Lyon. So he plays this one with Gossé in midfield. Ap Gareth goes down the right with Dixon and Maurice. And it's Bus and Brew up top. Let's not forget, 6 goals away from becoming the all-time club league goal scorer. So there we go. Everybody is playing as expected. That's why they're expected to play their way, isn't it? Okay, let's expect to pick up where they left off. We've been dominant, essentially, in the league. What do we say? Come on, lads. Show me what you can do to keep the run going. It's not necessarily the most inspiring team talk, but I don't know what else there is to say, really. One thing we are looking to do is hit early crosses. We just want to get the ball in the box. There's no stuffing around. We're expecting them, well, you've seen their formation. We're expecting them to essentially be parking the bus, hanging on for a point. So we're just going to try and get the ball in the Bus and Brew as early as possible. Well, I get creative there, a little bit too late. and just kind of see where it gets us. Here we go with Ap Gareth. If there's somebody who does deliver a decent ball in at the right time, it is Ap Gareth. Looks like he's going to go. Oh, it's a stunning pass. Maurice is in, and Maurice sticks it away. What a run. What a ball through by Ap Gareth. And Maurice, 6th goal of the season for him. He's looking as though he's actually being looked at for the Scotland squad, the senior Scotland squad. So we could have Maurice and Williams both representing senior, the senior national teams, basically off the back of playing for Bala Town, and that would be something special. We've had sort of some of it's a decent ball in Evans over the bar. Some smaller African teams, Benin and where's Zimbabwe? Is that where Muddy Moo was from? We've seen Romario Vieira, Guinea-Bissau. Oh, Bussenbrew gets his 8th of the season. It's all a little bit too easy, that one, wasn't it? Poor marking at the back post, and he is now 5 goals away from breaking the record, 4 goals away from equaling it. Luke Bussenbrew, he deserves the record. He really, really does. He's been a wonderful player for us and scored, obviously, hatfuls of goals. And we've had Bakil Benny, of course, representing Thailand, but with not sort of a senior European country. We do have, of course, Allmark in the under-21s for Wales. Whether he's going to be able to make the step up to the senior squad, time will tell. But yeah, it would be really nice if we get a couple of senior European internationals. Oh, I thought Ap Gareth just might have got to that. They've lumped it clear. Nichols picks it up, brings it forward. Akers a space to stride into. He goes down the line for Ap Gareth. Can he pull it back? He keeps it in. He sort of keeps it in the end. He's kept possession. That's the main thing. Can Nichols whip in across? There it is. Bussenbrew's there. Oh, Bussenbrew snuck it in. And that is now 4 goals away from breaking the record. 3 away from tying it. A 9th goal of the season for Luke Bussenbrew. He is well and truly back on form this season. And there we go. We'll give him some praise. It's 3-0, 26 minutes in. And the question's got to be asked, could Bussenbrew break the record this game? He would need 4 more. As I say, he needs 4 more goals, so it would also be breaking a goal-scoring record for an individual game. So it's unlikely, but it could happen. Here we go. Gossé knocks it down to nobody really in midfield there. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there, but that's okay. They've lumped it forward. He's in here. Can we get saved? Yes, Jaycock does make a decent save. Nichols picks it up and eventually clears it across the face of goal, which is where all good clearances should go, isn't it? To Newton to bring it down the left. Yeah, I am toying with the idea in Europe, and let's ask the class what they think. Do we perhaps look to go with wingers in Champions League games? We saw last time out, we were able to relatively comfortably, I'd say, even with 10 men, only lose 2-0 to Lyon, away from home as well. I'm wondering if we stay compact but play with wingers and just see if we can, because we never really. Oh, it's another goal. And that's Dan Evans this time, 2nd of the season for him. Denny Gossé with the assist. It's 4-0 now, and that is well and truly. There's no chance of a comeback now, is there? I just wonder, if we are going to threaten teams, we need to do more than just the occasional corner. And I just wonder if we play with wingers and at least have a threat ourselves. I'm not saying we'll do that against Liverpool today. Though if it is, I think the Lyon game was a weird one because we were down to 10 men as well. So we really were in a difficult position where there's nothing we could really do. If we opened ourselves up too much, we just would have destroyed our goal difference, and any chance of maybe sneaking 3rd place off Shakhtar would have been taken away from us. But I do wonder, if we have 11 men, it's a good save by Jaycock. If we do have 11 men on the pitch and it's 1-0 again, if we throw on some wingers and kind of have a go for the last 10-15 minutes, and if we lose the game, we would have lost the game probably anyway. We've got nothing to lose because there's no fun. I mean, just keeping goal difference down and leaving the group with maybe we sneak a 0-0 draw. We lose the other games 1 or 2-0. There's no real achievement in that. Well, no real satisfaction anyway. What do we say with that? Just don't let it go to your heads, boys. So that was pretty good. So there we go. Bussenbrew sends Bala Town top. We brushed aside a weak team, let's be honest. They're not the strongest team in the division. But it wasn't about that game. It was all about what's coming up next. We host Liverpool. Okay, welcome back. Now, unfortunately, the under-19s didn't fare quite so well against Liverpool as they did against Lyon. They've gone down to a 3-0 defeat, and to be honest, it didn't look like it was much of a close game either. So well and truly beaten there, but that's okay. But we do have some other news to catch you up on. I need to get back to the right screen here. And that is we have a contract extension signed here by James Waite. His contract was up at the end of the season. I was waiting to see if there were better players that we were maybe going to be able to buy, or to get in, but it wasn't to be. So we signed a 2-year deal. So it ends 2025, end of not this season, next season. Same money, bonuses have all been increased, and we do have an option to extend it by a further year if at the end of next season we still feel like we want to keep him. Now, have a quick look at contracts expiring at the end of this year. Now, we have offered a contract to Rhys Williams. He's agreed to it. We're just sort of waiting for him to actually sign it, so that should be done. Other guys here, Serafino, who I think will let go with Bakari, who's already leaving. Joe Lewis is one. I'm wondering, do we try and keep Joe Lewis? We're only in October. I don't want to get to sort of December, and then obviously at the end of that they can leave, sign contracts with other clubs. I'm unsure about him. He's 24. He's probably not going to improve that much. I'm thinking we might just let him go. Ryan Sears, has he been good enough to earn himself a new contract? I'm thinking possibly yes. Depends how much money he wants, of course. Backhill Benny, I think we have to keep Backhill Benny, don't we? He's just a bit of a legend. The other one, of course, is Luke Bussenbrut. And I'm wondering if he plays this year, gets the goal scoring record, have we then moved past him and we can look to give some of the youngsters some more game time? I'm thinking the likes of Guto Kingsley, who is potentially very good, and also Kirk Butland as well, who is potentially quite good, although his potential is dropping every day because he's not playing that too much with us right now. Anyway, that's we're looking for feedback on those guys. Everybody else there, Muddy Moon, Newton, and Granger's just here on loan, so I think we'll let all of them go. But yeah, thoughts on Joe Lewis, but particularly Bussenbrut. What do we do with him? But Waite's here for another 2 years, and Rhys Williams effectively, I think he's a 4 or 5 year deal, but once that's exactly signed, I'll let you know. But here we go. We are up against Carlo Ancelotti's Liverpool at the racecourse ground. We have a quick look at the scouting report. Carlo Ancelotti, we know roughly what to expect from him. He's a quality manager, isn't he? They're an adventurous passing playing style, a mixed pressing. If we have a look here at the analysis report, this is how we're expecting them to play. Not necessarily the team, but look at some of those names we're going to be up against. Mane, Ondegaard, Salah, Neves and Keita in midfield. Robinson, Upamenko, who's a beast. Oh, it's a really, really good team. You can see here they beat Sheffield United 1-0 last time out. They're a little bit narrow perhaps, but they do like to attack in wider areas. Passing network and key passes there as well. And this is the team. It's Jaycock in goal. It's Burke, Cooper, Williams, Gosney and Sears as the back four. It's York and Tomlinson in midfield. It's Waite, Allmark and Anderson up top. We'll see what we can do. We've got Biggs and Morris on the bench. So if we want to go to wingers later on, if it's tight and there's a chance of a point, we will definitely look to do so. And here we go. Everybody is playing as expected. Firmino has come in and Carroll. So they're not playing necessarily their strongest team, I wouldn't have thought. You'd imagine Sane and Salah are the better two there, aren't they? Lewin says give them a bit of a morale boost. We're the underdogs here. Let's give the fans a performance. Let's go with maybe a little bit of passion. We've got nothing to lose. Let's show everyone else what we're capable of. Some calm, we have faith. And yeah, let's just get out there. And let's be honest, if we take anything from this game, it'll be a miracle. This is just experience to see roughly how far away we are from challenging at the top of Europe. And I think we saw, against Lyon. Now, Lyon they're unlikely to go on and win the Champions League. But we saw that we can hold out, relatively speaking, our own defensively. We didn't really look like scoring, but Liverpool, I think, is a team that could go on and win it, and what a save that is by Jaycock. So this is a real good test, and of course, Rhys Williams up against his former club here as well, so he'll be up for it, I hope. Prove some of the doubters wrong at Anfield. Another Liverpool free kick. Can we get that away? No, we can't, and a set piece is always a disappointing way to concede a goal, isn't it? I don't mind conceding goals if we get outplayed, but that is just a little bit soft and a little bit disappointing, to be honest. Just didn't quite pick him up. And yeah, there we go. We come straight back. All right, can we peg them straight back? We are trying York in the deep line playmaker role in place of Williams, and that allows... there's a decent ball. No, it's headed away. And are we going to get done for the old 1-2 punch here? Allows Tomlinson to come in and play sort of more as a more advanced player. York is more natural in the deep lying playmaker role in any case, so hopefully he'll put in a decent performance there. He's gone straight past Burke. cut back inside. Carroll, let's not do 2 quick ones, boys. Come on. Keating for Ruben Neves. Back for Keating. Put a bit of pressure on here, boys. Come on. It's becoming a bit of a long old highlight, isn't it? We get back. Can we get a block in? We can't. And Brewster, what a miss that is. We might just give him maybe a concentrate here. Anderson's looking nervous. I'm wondering if Anderson isn't a big game player. Another ball into the box. It's headed away this time by Reece Williams. Can we get a foot in? I'm wondering if we need to get stuck in here. Because as things stand right now, this is looking as though it's only going to go one way. And it's going one way very, very quickly. We'll get stuck in. Let's go a higher line. And yeah, a first goal for Noah Carroll. It's always frustrating, isn't it? It always feels like everybody scores their first goal against your team. I did see it was an old lady plays did a sort of like a statistical breakdown of the average team and you know, how many goal scorers they have, and statistically speaking, there's quite a good chance that, especially early on in the season, that the first goal is going to be scored against your team. We'll proceed with the changes. Let's demand a bit more and see. I don't want to get blown away here, to be honest. That's my main concern. Gosney's not having a great game there at the back. He's getting worse as well. We do have Denham on the bench. I don't know if he's any better, to be honest. Let's encourage them. Come on, boys. Well, we've calmed down. Getting stuck in seems to have worked to a point. We have not threatened them whatsoever, though, have we? Let's say, show me something else here, boys. We've demotivated Ryan Sears. There's a big part of me right now that thinks, do we go with wingers and just kind of see where that leaves us? Again, James Waite not having his best game in Europe. Not really celebrating his new contract in style, is he? There's an argument maybe we should be looking to hit them on the break a little bit more, but we don't really have necessarily pace in attack either. So, Lyon's taking the lead against Shakhtar. That, I think, is a good thing for us. If Shakhtar can sort of get beaten by these two teams as well, and 20-odd seconds into the second half, and we find ourselves 3-0 down, and I'm going to go to wingers. This is not going to end well for us as it stands. So let's make the changes. We can get Gosney off the pitch as well, because he's just not having a good day out there. I'll make the changes, guys, and I'll come back and run you through them. Okay, so here we go. We've just made the one change, or the one substitute. We've brought Gosney off. We've brought on Biggs. We're going to try Anderson out left. Maurice is a little bit match fatigued, so we'll try Anderson out there and just see if the general shape's going to work. Otherwise, we've moved Tomlinson into a ball-winning midfielder. He's more natural in that role. My concern is obviously bookings and red-yellow cards. We're just going to play the same way that we play in the league against the team that's parking the bus against us, and just kind of hope here, basically, and see where it gets us. As I said, as things stand right now, we're going to get beaten anyway, so we might as well try something. Use this as a little bit of an experiment, and just kind of see what happens. But we're seeing here that we are definitely not up to the standard just yet, are we? As I said, I really just hope that we don't end up going on and getting absolutely smashed for 6 and 7 here. There was always a risk that could happen, wasn't there? But ideally, we won't have that happen. I mean, this is, as I said, a really, really good team. We know what Liverpool's like. Even 5 years in, they still look quite the team here, don't they? A good tackle there by Burke. All right, Anderson goes forward, and that ends the the brief excitement there as Gomez wins the header and Liverpool retain possession. I'm wondering if maybe we don't counter-press, if we just look to hold our shape a little bit. Brewster is just running everywhere, and that is surely, didn't look right. I think his run in behind may have just been offside. We probably shouldn't be attacking them, to be completely honest. Let's just go back to positive. I mean, the morale there, it still looks okay, doesn't it? So let's try and get creative, see if we can get anything going. They're still looking inspired. God love them. They're running around out there. They're trying their best. We're just massively, massively outclassed right now, aren't we? Tomlinson's not having a good game. Let's get Henry Jones on there to play as an advanced... No, we already have an advanced playmaker, so let's undo that. Let's get Connor Parsons on there to go box to box for us. Here we go. Omar closing down. Go on, son. That's unlikely to make a difference for us at this point. I mean, could we take something out of the fact that we've gone how many minutes of the second half here with wingers, and we're about to concede, I'm sure, but we haven't conceded as of yet. Ruben Neves, that's a little bit special. You have to hold your hands up at that. There's not too much more we could have done with that one. And that's 4-0, and it's starting to get into the realms of disappointing, isn't it? Massive crowd. This will definitely be a record for the club, almost certainly. Decent header away there by Sears, and you can't do anything about that. That's just a hold your hands up and well done, really, isn't it? Where are we? We're at this side. Anderson's not had a great game. Yeah, I have to check his sort of coach report. There's a decent cross in, nice little shape on it. That's more, I think, than we created against Lyon, so that's something. Belotti has turned into space there, and he goes in, and that is a horrible, horrible miss. What can we do? Let's try not counter-pressing them, just try and keep into some sort of shape. We'll try and keep the ball here, we'll lower our tempo, just see if we're capable of doing it. Yeah, it's just, as I said, it's just an experiment at this point. Once it got to 2-0, that was pretty much that. We'll tell them to concentrate. Any thoughts or suggestions you guys have of what we can do? I think it is partly a case of just not being good enough. But, I mean, we haven't looked too bad with wingers. Do we go with wingers for the next game? Yes, they probably took their foot off the pedal a little bit, having gone sort of 3-0 up. But we only conceded 1 goal with the wingers on the field. They weren't excellent. I mean, you got to say I'm far from pleased. You can't be happy with 4-0. So, youthful Bala Town come unstuck. Ancelotti praises Bala Town's passion. Well, thank you, Carlo. That means a lot coming from you. Unfortunately for us, though, the other game ended up in a draw, 1-1. So that hurts us, let's be honest. Yeah. Thoughts, guys? Any feedback that you have? I don't know whether we've got Shakhtar next. Is that the next game in the Champions League? Yeah, away to Shakhtar. Is that the game? Is that a game, perhaps, I wonder, where we just look to play the way we've been playing in Europe and just try and hang on for a point, and then if it gets to a situation where we need a goal later on, we go to wingers. Maybe that's the sensible thing to do moving forward. But that's what we'll do. We'll come back on that next time. We'll do this team whose name I can't pronounce in the league. Then we'll do a trip to Shakhtar Donetsk. If we're any chance of getting out of the group, especially now that they've taken a point off Lyon, we need to at least be getting a draw there, don't we? Anyway, guys, enjoy your weekend. I've been Aussie Bell, and thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.